Hello, families. I'm going to read my introductory letter to you, and I will be sending this home. But I just wanted to point out a couple things and show you a couple things about myself. I am Miss Amy Michella, and I will be your child's 6th grade English Language Arts teacher this year at Washington Middle School. Many of you already know, this is my 13th year of teaching at CLK. I taught some of your children. I am thoroughly pleased to work with you again. Others I'm meeting for the first time, which is always exciting for me. However, this is a new year, and I enjoy starting each year rejuvenated and energized, and I treat every year as a new year, as we all should. I have a positive outlook, and I am full of new ideas as I teach your child. Allow me to take a few moments to introduce my goals. A quote from George Lucas, the American film producer, screenwriter, director, and entrepreneur: "Education is the single most important job in the human race." Can't help but agree, and I hope you do too. This is such a rewarding profession, and I'm honored to be a part of it. My mission as a teacher and a lifelong learner is to lead your child to become a thinker. From there, they will become learners, readers, writers, communicators, etc. They will believe in themselves while growing as individuals. I will respect, encourage, listen to, guide, and believe in each student. While doing this, I expect the same from your child. They must do their work. They must respect everyone and everything around them and be committed to their learning. I do set high expectations so they can be productive members of the community and the world. To be a productive member of our world, one must communicate effectively, which is where language arts enters the picture. I realize how lucky I am to teach two of my favorite subjects, reading and writing. While in my classroom, your child will become a better reader, writer, speaker, listener, thinker, communicator, and person. I can promise you this. Please talk to your child and ask them often about what they are doing at WMS. This is new for them as a 6th grader, and our whole team works as a team, respecting one another while doing our best. We love being here. That will be evident to your child and to you. Positivity is contagious, healthy, and productive, and I do tell your child that. I'm looking forward to this school year. I know it will be the best one yet. I really do. Please contact me anytime. Your child means a lot to our school, to this learning community, which means your support is very much valued here. I would love for you to help me get to know your child a little bit more so I can teach him or her better. If you could please send me an envelope with a letter about your child in it. Also, an email is another confidential way where we can be in contact. I'm not going to give your child a grade on this, and I'm not going to give you a grade on this, but any background that you can give me will help me better teach your child. One thing that your child can expect when they walk into room 305 English Language Arts with Miss Michella, me, is a warm-up each and every day. And I just wanted to show you an example of a warm-up. This one is 3 different quotes, one from Maya Angelou, one from William Zinsser, and one from Miss Amy Michella, me. One thing I want the students to practice is just responding, whether it be to something that we read, whether it be to a quote, maybe it's something that they've done in a group. We practice writing to think, and writing to learn, and learning to write, and all of these things, as I mentioned, are part of communication. So as an example, I would have these 3 quotes up on the smartboard, our interactive whiteboard, and the students, as it says, will write the quotes, practice giving credit to an author, is writing a quote correctly. We also talk a lot about plagiarism here in language arts, and also the other classes, especially computers when they start doing research. So we talk about writing quotes. I want them to practice writing quotes. I also want to see what their handwriting is like, so I do have them do this on a separate piece of paper or in their writer's notebooks. Then I want them to respond to just what they think the quote means, and I emphasize that there is no wrong answer as long as they have an answer. Especially on Mondays here in language arts, another thing that I find is very important for me and very important for the students is to go over our plans for the week. So I call it our agenda. This is, for an example, for the week, the 2nd week in September. The agenda for the week, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I let the kids know that doesn't mean it's going to go this way every week. Of course, things change, especially here in the middle school and with the crazy world we live in, but we try to go through the agenda so they can prioritize, they can know what to expect, what to look forward to, how to plan their week. And also, it helps to know what's going on in the other classes. So we'll also talk about, well, what's going on in science this week, social studies, math, computers, etc. So this would be an example, although it looks a little long and overwhelming. It seems like the kids really like to know what the agenda is for the week. And also, we practice using their agenda, their calendar on their iPad, so they can also record what the plan is. Although this looks rather goofy, we do know that sixth graders like goofy. This is just another example of a beginning of the year assignment, their first writing piece actually, practicing a reader response first of all after I do a read aloud of my favorite books, one of my favorite books, The Little House by Virginia Lee Burton. We practice reader responses. They can summarize, they can write a song, they can write a poem, they can write a letter, they can make connections, they can make a list. Almost anything goes. What I want them to practice is responding, as I mentioned earlier, to reading or to somebody else's ideas, and then making their own ideas from that. So this is one example of one way I pull them in the morning with an interesting picture, and it might be a goofy one of myself. Graphic organizers are something that we use often here in language arts. I want the students to be able to see thoughts, to make learning and thinking visual. This is an example of a graphic organizer that you can see I used for, again, my favorite book, The Little House by Virginia Lee Burton. I like to give kids choice too. So here's one graphic organizer they could use. That's the rest of it. Here is another, a little more basic, but I do have kids that like to just stick with the characters, the setting and time and place of the book and what it means to them. Also, they have some freedom here to fill in details of their own. Here's another one, basic web format, which a lot of kids like to use. And then I also want them to see my writing. I try to write every single piece that they do. I try to model what good writing is and maybe what bad writing is. And we try to do that together. That's a big part of the writing process and the 6+1 traits that we use for good writing. So I hope this is a little bit of an introduction to 6th grade English language arts. Again, feel free to contact me anytime and talk to your kids. Thanks. Bye-bye.